Today we're going to be talking about local listings and citations, which are basically websites that host your information, like your phone number, your address, things about your business. So, like, you think Yelp, Google My Business, Bing, Places, even Facebook, your page on Facebook. So we'll be going into that shortly, but let's give it a few more minutes just to make sure no one else is running late, and then we're going to dive right in. Thanks for joining me today. And so, yep. And I will have a Q&A session after this is all done, so feel free to stick around once I'm done. I'll be cutting off the recording at that point, but I'll just be sticking around, answering any questions, and if you want to shoot me a question about your business's listings, I'll go check that out. And then I think from there we'll begin, because I don't want to waste any more of your guys' time. All right, welcome everyone if you're just joining us. Yep, we're talking about local listings and citations today. So what are local listings and citations? So that's just basically platforms that mention the name, address, and phone number for a local business or local professional's office, like a lawyer's office, or if you are a small store in town, maybe you're a bakery, it could be any local listing. It helps basically search engines understand where you're located to help them hook you up with someone in your area. So if someone Googles, for example, flower shop, and you're a flower shop, you're going to want to make sure all that data is correct, so when someone's around your shop, that you pop up on either Google or Bing or whatever search engine they're using. It helps people discover you through things like Google Maps or search engines or other programs or their sites themselves. People do go on Yelp and look at reviews. All listing sites have different requirements. Like some just need your address and your business name, and maybe they'll just call you up real quick to confirm that you have a legitimate phone number. Some are more serious, like Google or Bing will send you a literal postcard in the mail to confirm that you're at the address that you say you are and that you are the business. So it basically ranks on how serious the listings are. And the main goal of all this is to get people to your website, or if you just have a Facebook page, maybe it's to get to that. But it's basically to get people in the door of your business or get new clients for your business. And that's what the goal of all this is. We want to help your business out. What to list. And so this is when we're actually going to go create some of the listings online. This is the kind of stuff you're going to want to need. You're going to need your business name, address, phone number, email, website URL, photos, categories, all that good stuff. And yeah, that would just be, you got to make sure that's the same on every website, make sure it's correct. And I'm going to go over all the listing different websites today that we can go on, the best ones, the worst ones, yada yada. But basically you want to make sure that all this info on all the websites is correct. You don't want one to have an old phone number, an old address. That'll confuse people trying to find your business, and that'll confuse the search engines like Google and Bing from correctly labeling your business's information. The most important one we will start with today talking about is Google My Business. So Google My Business is the king of citations, and it's really so important. Many experts, like SEO experts, web experts, marketing experts, do not even consider it a citation. It is literally the modern equivalent to Yellow Pages. If you don't have a Google My Business account, you need to get one tomorrow. That's a great question, Val. Val asked, what if you have two places of operations? So you can enter both addresses, but most websites will have a primary option and a secondary. But if they're both equal, you can do that. There's a special section in Google My Business. After the webinar, I can even go show you where that is. For me, I only have one location primary, but so my girlfriend just moved to Columbus, and I'm starting to do some work there too. So eventually, if I get space there, I will be listing a second primary too. But that's a great question. I'll go into that more at the end. But Google My Business is, and Google My Business also aggregates all the other listings. So when it'll pop up on the right side of when you search something on Google, if you search me, for example, here, I will pull that up. So if you look up, just so you guys get an idea of what I'm talking about. On the right-hand side here, it's got all about me. It's got my name, business, it's got my reviews, address, but also you can see it has my Yellow Pages review down here. And it has question and answer sections, but this, it basically is the most important thing because it's the first thing that people see when they Google you. Sorry about that. Yeah, so that is number one. And then after that, I think the most important thing is your Facebook page. So Facebook is not a technical listing, but Google does check your Facebook page for your business. It checks for the information, it scans there, and it also takes the reviews off your Facebook page. So it will put, like, your Facebook reviews. If you have like a 2-star rating on your Facebook page for your business, that will show up on the Google sidebar of the Google My Business, which we just showed you. So that's pretty important to keep a track of too, and it almost always is one of the top 3 results for your business when someone's searching. So if you like Google My Business, one of the first results, it'll be my website first, and then after that is the Facebook page, because that's just, it's one of the most used platforms in the world, and Google uses it as legitimate, and so does Bing, and it's also can connect with Instagram. So if you use Instagram and connect that to your Facebook page, it's really important to make sure that information's right. It's just highly ranked by Google and Bing as a citation source. Bing Places for Business is number 3, I think. It's probably a little more important, honestly, than Facebook, but it depends. So Bing actually powers, a lot of people don't know this, the Bing search engine itself, Yahoo search, Alexa voice search, which is a growing market, Cortana voice search on Windows, which is a voice search when you use a little start menu on window, and Xbox search. So if people are playing on their Xbox and are searching stuff online, it goes through Bing. And so that together, all that search of like all the search in the world is like around 20 to like 25% of all search. So it's important to make sure you have Bing Places for Business down, because if someone's trying to find something on Bing, Yahoo, Alexa, Cortana, or Xbox, that's the info that's going to pop up, not the Google My Business. So though on like desktop searching, it's a very small percentage. Overall search, it's growing, especially with Alexa growing, and they are trying to compete against Google, so they're not using Google's search algorithms as much. But a lot of people miss Bing. It's called Bing Places for Business, and it's great to have that too. It's pretty simple to set up, just like Google My Business. Then we'll go into the best other free listings, and all these are free, by the way. All these listings I'm talking about today, these are free. They're just great, easy to set up. You got to go into each one. They normally help you through them. But Apple Maps is probably the best next free listings. Just go in there, you enter your business, just make sure the address is right. So people on iPhones are looking for your business on Apple Maps, they'll go directly to the right place and not somewhere else. Then after that, Yelp, especially if you're in a more like restaurant-y thing, Yelp, Yellow Pages, and Foursquare, Angie's List, these are all free to create. But do beware, they gotta, make sure your ratings are good on there. You don't want to, very rarely are you going to get that many ratings, but it's always great to ask your clients or your customers that really like you, if you have regulars or something like that, or people you worked with really well, done great, ask them to leave you some reviews online, either Facebook, Google, Yelp. They all help. Just makes your business look good. It also helps when people are searching for that type of business. It'll come up more. And then LinkedIn and Google+, while not in the same category as everything else, they technically will take the business info from LinkedIn or Google+, just the info to make sure it's correct with all the other websites, and making sure it's boosting your website up. So basically, the more citations you have, especially these better ranked citations, it'll give more legitimacy through Google's AI into your website. So if, like, once again, if you're like, let's say you're a defense attorney, someone's looking for defense attorneys, especially locally for local search, if you have all these citations done versus a competitor that does not, your site will get bonus points basically. And also, if someone's like looking on one of these sites for, maybe a restaurant or whatever business, if anyone wants to shout out a business example, that's good. These are just more ways to get your website, first of all, seen on that platform. A lot of people do use these platforms. And second off, just it's a reference for the Google algorithms to boost up, say, hey, this site is legitimate, look, it's all on all these other platforms. And especially if you have good ratings there too, that's a boost too. And then Google Plus is kind of a dying platform. They're really trying to replace what Google Plus was for businesses with Google My Business, but it's still there also, which is kind of weird right now. So yeah, enter your info on Google Plus. Local listing examples. I think most people are here from Michigan. If anyone's not from Michigan, feel free to shout out where you're from. I'd love to hear. And so things like in Michigan, one of the greatest relevant ranked non-national ones is MLive. So you can easily place a free listing if you go through MLive. They have easy to access. It might take like a week or two for them to actually get you on the listings. Once you contact them, you can get your business listed there, and that is a really powerful citation on local listing. And then there's free things. If you're a member of like a chamber of commerce, a lot of them will have a listings page. So to link back to your website, like Q&S Club, your co-working space, other orgs like business groups, professional orgs, a lot of times have websites, have them linking back to your website. Great boost. Just more places to get found. Basically, the more highly valued Google thinks of that organization, like MLive or the Detroit Regional Chamber of Commerce, the better it is for you. And it's just great if someone's, on that platform looking for something. You never know. I get some random calls from people from MLive sometimes, which is, never thought it would work, but it's actually a lot of people use MLive for some reason. I don't, but a lot of people do. Then we go to niche listings, niche, whatever you want to say, I don't know. And so like examples like in the niche, like for lawyers, Avo or like super lawyers would be like, they have ratings. And ones that are like, Google thinks some are more valid over others, like Avo, your Avo rating for an attorney will actually show up on your Google My Business profile at the bottom. People throw that up there, and so that's how the legitimate ones actually get shown on your Google profile when people search like a business. Your like Avo ratings are for doctors, health grades, that also pops up, and there's like different niches for everything. So there's probably ones for more other specific professions too. These are just the ones that came off the top of my head for examples. If you look up your niche, there might or there might not be a specific rating algorithm devoted to that niche or niche or however you pronounce it. So look into that too. Then there's other listings. These are much less important than the rest of them, but easy and free to set up. These I would not worry about until you have all those other ones done. Like these are the bottom of the barrel. Unless you are like a really freelancer, like Fiverr or Upwork or Clarity are great, but those I would not really say these are great listings. And Better Business Bureau is on there. It is not free. Well, it kind of is. Better Business Bureau is a weird one. It's an old age company from the days before, but it's not as relevant as it once was. So if you do pay for Better Business Bureau, do update that. Make sure everything's correct on there. And that's the thing. If you think that there's an account on any of these, make sure it's all up to date because that is important. So if your local professional group has a website, if they're listening for members, what would that give members a boost as well, even if completely local, especially if it's local? That's a great question. Being local and tiny, so Google's local algorithms, they have algorithms specifically for the local area. So they rank things that are powerful locally. So like, for example, the Detroit Chamber of Commerce, or the Metro Detroit Chamber of Commerce, whatever it's called, that's a powerful local citation source for Google. because they're looking at who also locally recommends these people. MLive also has a lot of power because of that. They're like, oh, this isn't just some national group. This is a local, respected, powerful institution that lists these local groups. So, I mean, yeah, there's all these online international listings that people get on, but they also are trying to more so look at the local connections so they can know who's actually involved in the community and who's just, they're trying to get a more systemized local approach at the local level, looking at things, which they do from looking at local websites or local groups instead of just the big national ones. And then all these others on this list are just kind of, they're great to make sure you have the correct info on them. So Twitter, YouTube, Quora, stuff like that, you don't need these things, but if you do have them, make sure the info is correct and not outdated. And then lastly, I mean, there's a lot of listings we're talking about today. How to check your listings. Really just make sure that you only have one listing for your business on each platform. You don't want duplicate listings. Duplicates are bad because if you have two listings with different information, that kind of fights each other for competition, first off, and second off, confuses some of the search engines or potential customers on that platform. And make sure you're consistent information across all the platforms. Have the same email, business name, like even to the business name. Make sure it says, like mine says Kurt Hamel Consultant on every platform. Except for Facebook. I mean, Facebook is so legitimate that you don't have to worry about that exactly. Mine has a little different name on Facebook than anywhere else, but it also links back to my website, and Google at this point knows that that's my Facebook page, so that doesn't matter as much. But I would still try to keep the same name across every single platform for your business. Make sure the phone number, address are all good. And a great tool is called Moz. Here, I'll bring it up to check your listings. And if anyone wants to say their business name, I'll check that out really quick. Otherwise, I am gonna just show you guys what mine looks like when you come up with this, and I'll explain why you don't actually have to worry about some of these other things too. Because today we have been talking about free listings. Now there are also things called paid listings. So paid listings are a little different. I wouldn't really worry about paid listings unless you're like a larger company or trying to really push online marketing, like you're paying someone to do. There's companies and paid listing platforms that you can pay, but I'll talk about that in a sec. But first off, I'll show you. So Moz Local, you type in the name of your business. Oh, there's mine. Normally you might have to type in the postal code too, but just type in the postal located. So it says 39%. Really ignore that. What you're really checking are the platforms. So most of these are paid platforms. They're trying to get you to enroll in their service, really is what they're doing. But this is still a great thing to check out. You can see your yellow pages. They'll still give you reviews for a few of them that are free. So inconsistent, like I said, my face. So everything else is good. This says missing website, but I've checked it. The website is there. This is just not updated. No duplicates. You can check to see if you have duplicates. That's a great use of this tool. That's the main use of it is checking duplicates. It'll show you your reviews, photos, tell you incomplete stuff, but most of these listings you don't have to worry about. If I didn't mention them today or you pay for them, just ignore them. Unless you've done every other thing out there and are really looking for a boost, but most people are not. So that's about it for that. And then, so if you guys really, get all this done and you really want to boost, most people I would never recommend this for. Larger companies, larger firms, not like larger, but like mid-sized businesses, employing like 40, 50 people or something. That's when you might want to get with the data aggregators. So that's the big four: Info Group, Newstar Localize, Hexacom, and Factual. And what these do is add even more citations out there. But with the new AI models, they're less valuable to Google and Bing than they used to be. But they do all the work for you. So at one point, that's a cool thing to check up on if you got like but it's really not necessary for anyone. And then finally, and I'm going to go into some of these. Is this free as well, or do you need the pro version? Yeah, for Moz is free. That local search that I just did. There is pro version, but I would just use the free version just to check some stuff out. And then manage reviews. But that thing I just looked at was free. It's called Moz Local. If you Google it, yeah, here. It's called anyone here. Moz Local. It's called Check My Listing, and it's local/search. I'll put it in the chat. You guys can go there, look up your own business anytime. Yeah, moz.com/local/search. And so then how to manage reviews. Once you have all these listings out there, you want to make sure you actually get some reviews on there. Google My Business, probably the most important listing. Facebook after that, and then Yelp, and then your niche or niche listing review sites are all very important. But Google My Business and Facebook, really make sure you have 5 stars on those or as close to as you can. But the best way to combat future poor reviews is to make sure you have a lot of good reviews right now. Talk to your clients, talk to the people that like you, talk to your your daily, the people you see all the time at your business that really appreciate what you do for them, and ask them as a nice thank you. Maybe instead of leaving a tip or whatever spine work you're in, or even just give you a 5 star review. Ask for that nice 5 star review on Facebook or Google, and it'll help. Especially when a lot of people think like, oh, I have a 5 star review right now, but you only have 1 rating or something. You want to make sure, because you're going to have one angry customer maybe in the next year or two, and ratings are just going to get more important, not less important. Ratings are really the future of how businesses are going to be judged. So really think about that now. Start trying to get more reviews, because one bad review, if you only have like 2 reviews, will bring you back down to a poop review. But also the good news is reviews on most websites only have 2-year max reach, and normally after 1 year they kind of cut down the relevancy of a bad review to like basically nothing. But they most only will affect you for 2 years, and then they're kind of off the system. All right, that's in the end of the slideshow, but I just want to check out really quick. That's it for just the going over anything. I'm going to go really quick and show you guys how I keep track of all my listings. So what I do is I have a spreadsheet. So I just keep up with everything over here. So I got everything is on here. I don't even use most of these. Most of these I just have created. And is there any way to remove the spiteful or untrue review? Not really. Some can be. You can try reporting it, but most likely not really. You can try sending a legal letter to Google or something to remove one, but very rarely will they remove a bad review. The real best way to get rid of a bad review is get more good reviews. That is the best way. But you can try, you can report most reviews. And all right, Yelp, though, if you are on Yelp and you pay for Yelp, some of those bad reviews will go away. That is the secret about Yelp. Yelp is kind of a pay-to-win platform. But with this list, I can keep track of when I last updated and checked in on my listings and everything, where they are. I have a link to them normally if there's like a listing, but it's just an easy way. You can do it any way you want. You don't have to do a spreadsheet like this, but really easy. There's nothing special about spreadsheets. Use Google Sheets. Just keep when it was created and keep a date of when you update it, because you want to be updating these at least once a year. That's important. Or especially if you have a changed phone number or a changed address, you need to go in and update all of these things. Yeah. So that's always important. But yeah, so and then from here, I think we'll just go. So Val asked about double locations. So if we go to Google My Business, which I think you're going to do first, Bing, because I'm on Edge. Funny enough. But here's Google My Business. So if anyone wants to, it's pretty easy to set up. They do walk it through. I have a walkthrough of Google My Business on my website too. So let me just link that really quick. But on Google My Business, so if you want to manage locations on the left side bar here, info, and you can see here's the address. If you click information, I didn't really think, sorry, I didn't really prepare for the double address thing. I didn't think about that one, which I should. But I know there's a way to manage location. Sorry, it's on the bottom left. Oh, here you go. And so you just click Add Location here. So on the bottom left, on the left side there, you click Manage Location. Then you just click Add Location here, and they will send you another postcard in the mail to your other location with a little code that you gotta enter in. So that's about it for Google My Business. And then but if you guys need help ever setting up for Google My Business, you know what, Val? I will share that. That's a good question. But this is the setup for Google My Business. I will share a template of that list. I never even thought about that. Sure, I can make a template of that. I'll share it on Facebook at some point. Make sure you guys are all, if you guys want to keep up to date with any stuff I do, like my Facebook page. If you sign up for that webinar, I can get your emails too, or subscribe to this. Subscribe to this is just if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, that'll just be upcoming videos. But yeah, I will make a template for that. That's a great question, Val. I will share that to my Facebook page tomorrow. Yeah. What if I just want to appear to have multiple locations? Yes, so you can't fake yourself having multiple locations because they send you a literal postcard in the mail to that address that you need to get to have a code. So you need to actually be at that location. If you actually knew someone who worked at that location, though, I guess you could fake it, but that's not going to help your business. I don't know why you'd want to fake your location. I guess you really could if you really tried, but it wouldn't be great for your business if someone showed up at a random location. I don't know. And then with Google My Business also, people can now message your page, so be watching that on from Google. They can just message your page or your Google My Business account. You can do posts on Google My Business, so that if someone Googles your business, it'll come up under that thing too. Like if you post a blog or anything. Like I got some stuff up there. It's only good for about a week, and then we'll do.